have you here. I'm so excited to see you.
I know, long time no see.
How was the journey home?
Well, I got home about 2:30 a.m. by the time we got into bed.
Wow.
But it was a good drive. It was totally good. Dave stayed awake without any problems. And, I think we were just on a high of everything that happened and him just totally getting into the vibration of the possibilities.
Yes.
And so it was really good.
Just for
Thank you so much.
Here, Gayle and David Marsh came back to Los Angeles. They filmed amazing episodes of exploring the human journey. They are miracle makers, and we are working together in a year-long program. And what's extraordinary, just extraordinary, as they have a deep level of trust. I said, come out at this time, come do this. And what was the experience like for you? I mean, starting from, when we met to saying and hearing, come out, what was that journey? And then where are you now that you're back home?
Oh my goodness. Wow. Literally, we only started this process, like a month ago?
Yeah.
It hasn't even been that long. And every week you just kind of brought us into a new level, a new vibration, and then would tweak a little bit more and tweak a little bit more. And then just to go out there and just say, okay, here we go. We're just going to see what happens. And it was absolutely fantastic because we just didn't place expectations on it, besides that we knew the universe was supporting us. And just everything that happened was a miracle along the way. Every person we met, every event we went to, it just was so aligned in such a beautiful way. And, you did what you said.
Which is so, so extraordinary to really, really experience. And part of that is you really trusted, and you really explored what was possible.
Yeah.
Into the frequency and brought the frequency up. The last person or last group of people that you interviewed and witnessed, what caliber of people would you say they were?
Oh my goodness. Wow. How do you define that? What caliber of people?
And I mean frequency wise, like last month before we started working together, would you have said you would be in a room in that possibility?
No, we haven't been functioning in that frequency. And it was definitely higher than what we were used to. People who just get it, they're very fluent. They function at a much higher frequency. And it was just so nice to be around. It's just, you could feel the difference. And it was amazing. So, here comes Dave. He's got to poke in.
Hey, Dave, how are you? So glad you're here.
Oh man, it's awesome.
And I was just saying, just sharing what an experience it's been being a miracle maker in the year-long program, the before and the after. And I can see it in your energy field, even driving home. I can see you're busy and working, but what was that like for you?
It was such another level. We were vibrating so high. The ideas that we now have a firm grasp on is we can put together a media package to help people market their services and products. We can have in that conscious community, we can go to someplace and say, we also have a show that's available. So it can be a business model for the show. Then we can have guests that like, I saw the distinction between the business guest, because we interviewed a business guest. We went on the expo floor and we found somebody that was a hypnotherapist, and we both felt like, no, this isn't going to work out, but I kind of committed myself to interviewing her, and we did. And all she wanted to do was do an infomercial. I'm like, that's not really what we're doing. Yeah, if you get my 7 easy steps to happy, healthy, whatever. I'm like, okay, well, she just wanted to talk about her program. And then I said to Gayle, I said, there's a place for that. We can, let's say we meet with 10 people during a week, and there's whatever that dollar amount is that we charge for production, and we can create 30-minute episodes. We can release every one of those episodes on a Sunday. And it doesn't matter. It's not like we have to do one a week. And then I said, we can create the opportunity where if we do meet David Alexander English and we can have this amazing conversation, and that's like the one we want to do. And that's why our show is going to be popular, because of, Dr. Sue Morter's on the show, and Dr. Sarah Larsen, and, all the famous people. And so I'm like, I can now see how we can create a business model where the people that are trying to make their name, that kind of want to have an infomercial, well, we can come to that energy and we can help them. But it doesn't have to be what our personal goal is.
Right. And how do you feel on the inside? Because this was intuition. This class is all about intuition. Your intuition said, work with Dr. Sarah Larsen. Then your intuition said, pay close attention to what she's saying. Say yes to what she's telling us to do. And so where are you with that, with intuition? How are you feeling? Where is your energy levels?
That was the epiphany of just creating all the possibilities. We were allowing that intuition to surface and to give verbalization. So, maybe that's too much of the logistics, but we were feeling the intuition of, look at what possibilities can be created in a space where, as before, we couldn't see it. Well, now it unlocked the ability to, what was already there but uncovered and undiscovered. We're like, oh, we can see it from working with Dr. Sarah Larsen. We can feel that energy and that awakening and that opening to that intuition.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely stronger and more clear.
And more clear. And how's your marriage? And how is the work going together? You guys working?
Well, we created new possibilities. Gayle and I are in a place in life where we're experiencing an open relationship, and we've said, well, what possibilities can we create to where it's not pulling away from the dyad, but you can have the experience of novelty and expansion. And so we have Friday night date night planned, where Gayle has a date and I have a date. It just gives us the possibility of not being stuck in something in a fear-based construct, and being able to have an experience and feeling that intuition and just being guided and led forward.
And so how energized are you guys?
Oh my gosh. We went to bed at 2:30 in the morning and we're still just buzzing. We're not even tired.
Yeah.
Not even tired. And so thank you guys. Thank you for sharing that, because I want everyone that's watching this and everyone that's part of this to realize that's part of what gets created. No one else can do it for you. You guys did it, right?
Yeah.
The direction was pointed, but you had to do it.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really
yeah.
good.
Okay, beautiful. And so that is what we're working on. I'm so glad. Thank you guys for being here. And I can't wait to dive fully into today's topic. I want you on the other end of this computer to fully realize, you miracle makers, this life, everything that's happening, you've invited this into your life based on the energy and the frequency that you're carrying. And the more that you truly value what's inside your heart, you give to yourself those things that truly matter. And no one else can do this work for you. And being an intuitive is not a gift, right? Being intuitive is something that everyone has. And yes, there are people like each of us, given the opportunity to play piano, could sit there and stroke the notes and make music. If we followed some sort of pattern within ourselves, we could even make music out of those notes that was pleasing to others. If we came in and we started learning from someone who already understands the keys and understands the different possibilities around it. Every person has got this. And your level and your skill, your ability to intuition, to know what's happening is so within every one of your senses. And when you start tapping into that, it is so extraordinary. And I'm so grateful that you're making the time to join tonight and you're making the time to watch this. I'm grateful because we have a period in time that's coming up. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a huge number. Greg shared that right now in the country, in the United States, I want to say it was like 600,000 people were 3 months behind on their car payment. 3 months behind on their car payment. And where we are as a community, miracle makers, what we're setting every person that's part of it, that's participating, that's learning the skill set to be the leaders in their community, to already know how to tap into their own emotions, to be able to help others in their community have emotional resilience. The things and the ways that we're going to need to be coming up soon is going to require a great level of strength and heroship. I love the definition of hero. Hero means carrying the strength for two with love and compassion. And there is a frequency that's always available to us. This extraordinary frequency is so beautiful. It makes all things possible for each one of us. This frequency, and I want to share what your body always knows if you did the right thing for you. We're going to dive into this. Your body knows whether you did the right thing for you. You've got an intellectual intelligence and you've got an intuitive intelligence. And your body is listening to spiritual laws. Your body is listening to consciousness laws. Your body is so smart and so beautiful. This is one of my favorite books. This is The Atlas of Human Anatomy. And I went through 3 copies of this book, and this was the final copy, just because I loved it so much. This one is by Frank H. Netter, but the first time I wrote all over it, the pages came out, the binding came away, just because it's so important to understand structure. It's an extraordinary gift that you get to give yourself. This is just your throat. This part right here, this is just a little look. You are the highest technology that life could create. And it's extraordinary what this means. Like when you fully understand, that's just your throat. That's just your vocal cords. And that's just a little bit about them. I'm just opening this randomly, but here's your chest. This is your rib cage. Here's your lungs. There's so much that your body does. And it's like so many layers, so much air comes into your body, so much information comes in. And your body knows, which is amazing. Just to look at your digestive tract, to fully get and be in awe of yourself is part of the experience. This growing a relationship with yourself that is full of respect, full of community for what's happening inside your body. Each one of your organs, just like if you had children. I have 2 children. Tyler is so different from Jasmine. Greg, all of us live in this beautiful house. Quite often we have other people that come visit and stay with us for short periods of time. Sometimes we have people that are working with me healing stay and come here and be here. And we function as a unit, a community within our home. All of the organs, everything inside you follows a spiritual law, a consciousness law. It is an intuitive intelligence. Every part of you has an intellectual intelligence. When you really get who you are, you're kind of blown away. And and we've been taught so much misinformation. Part of the misinformation that we've been taught is that there's something outside yourself that's going to know better than yourself what the right thing is for your body. Your intuitive intelligence, your intellectual intelligence, your spirituality, and your consciousness is occurring in every moment. Let me see if I can pull up this page. We're going to talk specifically about those things. Then we're going to go into, and we'll jump into being able to read your energy. And as many people as we can, as many miracle makers as are here, we will dive in and read and exactly what your body's communicating. And most specifically, your body knows what you dream of. And as a person, as an energy, you're putting out energy all the time. And your energy is going to meet with like energy. You're going to get opportunities from time to time, alpha reflections, and be able to meet higher energy. And for you to be able to become what you're here to become, you've got to let go of the lower energies. So if you've had a pattern in the morning that does not work with your body, and you're excited to go meet someone new, you're going to an event, so on that day you wake up early, you're rushing through and you're just excited, your heart's all lit up. You go and you go meet all of these people. You have all of these opportunities. You meet the maybe the person that put on the event, or just the loveliest people that hosted that whole thing. Again, your frequency, what you're putting out in that moment, is going to draw and magnetize. We'll go into that, just a little bit of the science of that, how that works, what within you draws that in. If you want to really, truly remake your life, you have to become the habit of that. You have to wake up in the morning and get excited, whether you're going to an event that you're excited about or not. You've got to create it. So it's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? And this frequency is part of that. Let me pull up a page here on my website that I created for tonight. Ooh, I think I have to share the page first. So let's go back down here. I'm going to hit share the page. Hopefully you will be seeing my website. And then, and this page, you can go back to and search this conversation and these slides at any time. And I think today is intuition, let's see what comes up for that. Understanding your intuition and knowing that your body dreams. So I'm pretty sure you're seeing my screen and you're hearing me. Everything you understand comes from something beyond you, and you have tools within you to help you. Beyond you is inside and outside of you. So funny. It's so funny to say that because it doesn't even make sense. How can something be inside you and outside of you and beyond you and inside you, right? All of those things are so confusing. But when you really get the structure and understand your heart has a magnetic field. This is the place that something and everything you understand comes into your body to some degree. When you are at peace, when you're excited, when you're in an energetic state, more blood pumps to your brain and opens up more fields for you to see and understand. It's really, really beautiful. Life is beating your heart. In modern medicine, we've got the chemistry of it somewhat, but truly we still don't know exactly what beats your heart. Your heart is so magnificent. Your human heart's magnetic field can be measured up to 5,000 feet away from your body. They've measured your field. You can measure your heartbeat. Your heartbeat is sending out signals. It's either attracting or repelling. And we'll go into that just a little bit. Negative emotions create nervous system chaos, but positive emotion creates a synchronicity within your body that draws people in. This is so important for you. When you're at a higher frequency, when you're emotionally resilient, when you're at a peak state, you're excited, you're stepping into possibility, you are trusting people, you're trusting the environment, you're trusting yourself, your ideas, the images that you're holding, all of that is being transmitted in an energy form out through your heart and connecting to other people. That's your intuition is guiding what you see to some degree. This intelligence, your intuitive intelligence, is connected to your intellectual intelligence as well. The first part of your body that really begins to form is your heart, the first real organ to form. The heartbeat forms and starts beating before your brain begins to develop. Your brain developed based on your heartbeat. Your heartbeat was informed very much early on by what was happening with your mother, what was happening with your father, what genes are being expressed, what sounds were being transmitted through the womb. It's amazing that your heart, but many babies don't come into the world because what they're hearing within the first couple of weeks, if nutrition is not supported, the baby that became you, if life didn't believe that you could get what you're here to get, your mom would have released you. We have ancient traditions in India, traditions in Egypt. We have all of this science when we do the longevity studies that show that if your higher consciousness and your spirituality are not on the right path. You have multiple times that you will exit your body, the ghost, the spirit, the energy that you are. That first marker in fetal development, your heart started developing your brain and your body to help you be the bridge between your mother's DNA and your father's DNA. Nature is self-correcting. You are so self-correcting. It's one of the reasons you're so curious. It's one of the reasons that you lean in to the things that you trust, or you lean into the things you know will help you. Positive emotions create biological benefits in your body. Things that help you continue moving forward. Things that, and your entire body receives oxygenated blood from your lungs that go into your heart. And so your lungs are extracting from the environment, from outside you, everything that you need to be and understand. Inside you, that it's pumping it out to the rest of your body. If even a small portion of your body doesn't have blood for a few moments, it dies. That part of your body dies. That part of your body feels pain. Your heart, your intuition is communicating with you all the time, and you can boost your immune system. You can boost how much oxygen you extract through your lungs by picturing something positive that lights you up. You can boost what's possible by connecting to another human being, by dreaming. And there are ideas and beliefs and limitations that part of your body had to absorb the energy of. So when your ligaments, when you're sore, when your ligaments or the bottom of your feet, when you're feeling the tension in there, wow, there's beliefs in your body that are not serving you. And so your body is communicating and trying to get you back into your dreams, into what you're here to be the bridge of. Ideas that don't serve you but come and they go. If you allow yourself to really, really extract and notice and pay attention, what expands your life, what expands all life. Beliefs, limitations. So your lungs, for example, hold the energy of grief and nurturing. If you get pneumonia, you are really mourning the loss of something. If you get chest infections often, it's very, very interesting. Again, it means something different if you're a child. It means something different if you're an adult. Let's see if I'm going to stop the share just for this part so I can check in with you guys a little bit. Every part of you is intelligent. Every part of you is intuitive. And your lungs literally can let you know when you're in the right place at the right time. It can help you make decisions. Your body you can literally only be a yes to things or a no to things. It's your mind that becomes fuzzy. limiting beliefs, your limiting ideas, your limiting things. I had tuned into my body so much that I knew when it was a yes and I knew when it was a no. So when I met my husband, Greg, at the time that I met him, he wasn't my type. And whenever I tuned in to, am I supposed to spend time with him? And when I say he wasn't my type, I don't mean on the physical level. There was just nothing in common. He loved country music. I loved the musicians that brought us together were interesting. They were from New Orleans. It was a divine appointment. His best friend had said, "You've got to go see this concert." I'd grown up with Cowboy Mouth playing at concerts. My body knew, yes. Whenever I tuned in, am I supposed to spend time? I didn't get a no. And even though my limiting beliefs, my limiting ideas, my limited self-love, if I didn't have the higher intelligence, the intuitive intelligence, and what has kept us together, what's made us work, is this intellectual intelligence, going in and enhancing and growing. And your body knows. Your body can either only say a yes or a no. The place that you can see that most prominently is your lungs. And you might have a friend that's acting a little bit crazy, right? You're like, oh God, I know I'm supposed to do bigger work or hang out or do something bigger with this person, or play in a particular way, right? With Greg, he didn't have the social norms of a Southern man. And I grew up with a Southern man. He grew up a country boy. I grew up, and he's a worldly man. I think I just made him nervous too. But my body knew yes. So moved in that direction. I'm now living my dreams. When I met him, my dream was to be the Mother Teresa of medicine. That's why we still are able to contribute, to have free readings. We want to be able to reach everyone. We're now doing that through this medium. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for inviting others that might need help. We get to give at that level. We get to continue. I get to continue the medicine, the Mother Teresa, that dream. On top of that, along the way, other dreams came on board. And through this work, through the community, through self-funding, we've built a school for kids in Pakistan. We're with the government building a medical hospital and a medical school. And all of that is in the works. I see the vision of it. It lights me up. The greater and greater work, staying true to myself, true to those dreams, to that yes. Without being able to contribute that way, my body shuts down. I get sad. Greg recognizes this, helped us develop. I'm following my dreams. Complete from fully going out and publishing. I have 17 first drafts. Again, a dream to get my grandmother's wisdom into books, my own personal journey into books. And I had to unlock something in myself. And that it wasn't a yes in my body. It was still a no to go out there and finish in this way. And that no for me came from understanding that I wanted to always give you the freedom of choice. I always wanted me to have the freedom of choice. And something within me had locked freedom of choice, my own or yours, into this energy of I wanted you to like me, I wanted you to approve of me, And this third one, the way that I word it is really important. I never wanted to do anything that could knock me out of the path of helping you. And when I unlocked, when I unlocked the bridge, the DNA, the yes and the no, and the energy on that, I'm ready. Every day we're working on it, and it's coming forward. These books and this next format is coming forward. Same thing with the philanthropic work around the world. Miracle Makers are helping people on 5 continents. This is important to me, that you are ready, that your body is strong, that you're ready to be as useful to yourself, as happy, congruent. You unlock within yourself, you discover what that limiting idea was, what that limiting belief, because it's connected on the first level to your mom and dad. But it's on genetics. You have to bridge. You have to overcome. Nature is self-correcting. You have to correct what was missing, as if it's a gift that you get to give yourself. Our parents' job is to raise us. Our job is to raise us the rest of the way. Your heart is still beating. Your lungs are still extracting air from the environment. You are still an energy field. You have a soul. You have a spirit. There's a spirit to this building, this home that we're in. This spirit in the home that we're in is being served. And that's why it continues to stay. At first, we had the builders, someone said, oh, let's build a gated community there. Then energy and motion, architects, everybody got involved. Then the next level here is this physical building. So beautiful. Next layer, your body, the spirit in your body is still being served. The soul is still being served. Consciousness, that's why you're able to extract air. It's why your heart is beating. It's so beautiful. Going in further, your energy, your emotions, your mental thoughts, and your energy and motion. Anywhere that you're feeling pain is informing you. This pain is letting you know what to grow and what to contract, what to say yes to and what to say no to. So let's go in and share a little bit more on this page. Is it time for you to let go of ideas, beliefs, limitations that do not serve your body? And it's so important. Every breath is a time of letting go of ideas and beliefs and limitations. And is it time for you to access your personal intuition? The more that you practice anything, the more that it shows up for you. So happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. And for those that were on earlier, it's so beautiful. Gayle and David, this beautiful, and we'll show exploring the human journey. We'll show a little bit of their video. They do amazing work, amazing. What they've got to give to the world is extraordinary. And their conversations are waking people up. And so happiness for them, they're getting happier and happier because what they think, what they say, what they do is in harmony. Their body going to bed at 2 o'clock at night, waking up, energized, still feeling the buzz. They're tapping into their own frequency, their own intuition, their own intellect. and something had you tune in tonight. And so you're doing this as well. And you are different and unique from every person you have ever met. And what your body is here to do is different from everyone else. And I truly want you to have your body for as long as you want your body to go on. So there's biblical references to people living to 800 years old. There are, I've met someone who said they were 3,000 years old. I know other people that have spent time with others that claim to be so like 8,000 years old. A immortalitist that I worked with, Marty Eddington, said at age 4 he met a man who told him he was 4,000 years old, and at age 4 he remembered that. So that's a limiting belief that we're going to die at 125. It's a limiting belief that if you can let go of that, or if you can let go of, you might not get the work you're here to do done. If you can let go of that limiting belief, if you can let go of a little bit of fear every day, your senses will sharpen. You'll be able to carry enough energy for 2. And your senses are here to help you. They're connected to all of Earth. So I'm learning about 360 senses from the Egyptian philosophy, learning from the Indian, understanding those ancient wisdom. It's a lot of senses, right? But these are the key ones that we can often tune into and then grow beyond them. You are more amazing than you've ever been led to believe. And you've got the familiar sense of light, and it is bringing in light and life and ultraviolet. Later on, right here, you can see that visible light makes up only a very small portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. You are so extraordinary that if allowed, you would be able to see more of the electromagnetic spectrum. And I gave a lecture on your angel lobes, and it's within the academy of how a Yale doctor, Dr. Paul McLean, went in and studied how some people are able to unlock parts of their neocortex. I actually have pictures with angels. I see them. They've posed. They've snapped my camera at times so that everyone could see the angels around us. You have the ability to see them. Again, there's biblical references. There's references all of the time. Young kids, there's news stories about them. Sharing, communicating with, seeing another electromagnetic spectrum of light. If we shine white light through a prism, it produces a rainbow. And you literally have the possibility of extracting that and separating light into different wavelengths. We just haven't been fully made aware, just like playing the piano keys. We've been taught to search out, to look for when light is coming in to our mind, into our eyes. It's so, so beautiful. And I love this right here, which is you must get into really going, wow, all right, there's a time that my body says trust and a time that it says mistrust. That's one of the yeses and nos that you can develop in yourself, intuition. There are times that you want to be more autonomous. When you're autonomous, it's extraordinary. When you've got shame and doubt, it's really limiting. Shame and doubt versus autonomy. No one else can do it for you. And what I mean by that is to go up and speak to someone you're afraid to speak to go negotiate when it's time for you to negotiate, for you to ask the question that's burning versus going, oh, what will they think? No one else can create that autonomy for you. You must get into this. You must get into definitely fully trusting yourself. And one of the ways that I learned to trust myself and to trust humanity was through service, through showing up and being of service. The other ways that I literally had no one that knew how to help someone like me. So I had to develop autonomy. And it's one of the greatest gifts for anyone that has really hard emotions. That's what my clients come in with, really tough, hard emotions that is now locked in their body. And they don't know how to access the words. And as we give words to them and we say, oh, and when I say we, the other person is on a journey. They're on that ride. This is something that if you want to learn to play the piano, you've got to get an expert pianist teacher involved. You want to ride the horse in the direction that it's going. You want to get some of those skills to make it easier. It's one of the reasons that Greg and I take so many courses and we learn. For me, I've learned neuro-linguistic programming. I've learned Edgar Cayce's work, the Hippocrates Institute, allopathic medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, plant medicine. And I love to learn. I'm learning from Nassim Haramein and quantum physics. And it's an addiction to some degree to constantly be improving how I can understand the energy field. I also understand people, and I filter all of that understanding through understanding myself. Because this part of really getting whatever it is you're here to do, you're going to do it. No matter what, you're going to get it done. And so if you can really get into trust of that, and you start getting into a timeless place, and when you get into this timeless place within yourself, within trust, within autonomy, taking initiative, and getting into industry, that's when all of your core ideas, your core beliefs, your core, every structure of yourself got formed. And when you get into this timeless place of trusting, being autonomous, initiating, and really getting industrious, what you're here to do, everything within your body begins to heal. And in so many classes, we've gone into the science of sharing how when you don't heal something, it gets passed on to your kids. So everything to some degree that you're dealing with was something that was passed on to you. And these limiting beliefs and these limiting ideas, nature is self-correcting. And your body knows whether you're going with a higher law or whether you're going with a law not created by nature. Now, gravity is a law. It's a law, just like there's a law of love. you drop something, it's always going to fall. It's going to work the same way, whether you're a good person, quote unquote, or a bad person, quote unquote. It's your judgment, right? Love, source, life works the same for everyone. You got the same amount of it. Each one of us on this planet feel the same effects of gravity. It's really important. Oh, I didn't save all the rest of the images. It's so funny. I'll put this together today. There are more images that come with this. And so in the next couple of days, they will be back saved the correct way for you to be able to see. They were basically images of your nervous system. Again, going with your heart, understanding that your blood vessels, right? I'm going to show you a little bit of your cardiovascular system. This is hard to understand right here, but this is right around your throat. Right around here. When your heart is functioning for you, giving to you in love, getting the yes from your body, more of your brain. And your brain is all over your body. So when I met Greg, and it's more now, like when we wake up in the morning, when we're I'm so madly and deeply in love. It's really, really the sweetest thing. We go into this timeless place. We actually have to set timers because we love meditating together. We love creating together. And we have to set timers to get us back into time. We're in this timeless place together. And the joy and the work and that wasn't possible for me until I gave myself a little bit of joy in service to non-government organizations, in service to these different things, being a doctor. At some point, when I came, my parents were like, and I didn't have self-love. I had service. I had a deep knowing of yes and no, but I was just really broken. An eating disorder. All I did was smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. And I ran from every relationship, going in deeper, connecting with someone, until I found Greg. And we created for us, you're forgiven before you do anything. The more he could say that to me, the more I could say that to him. The more our intuition, our intellect opened. So what is it that you have to say to yourself to let your intellect open? For not being in relationship, that's why coaching works so well. The Olympic athletes, children, teacher, student, it works so well because if someone's already carrying the frequency, if they're carrying the energy, it's so easy to really ride with them until you figure out your own frequency. And I think I heard Lisa Haisha say this yesterday. Beautiful. Dave and Gayle interviewed this extraordinary, she's soul blazer, just amazing coach, amazing contributor to how we can see ourselves, humanity can see itself, and sort of quickly, rapidly change. She shared, when you get braces, right? You get braces, and unless you use your retainer, they're going to move back out into the places that your teeth were. So you can get braces to put them in place. And so at some point, You get someone around you to brace you, to carry you. They've got to already have that frequency, that energy in that area. That's a higher law. It's an intuition. It's a knowing. Someone can't give to you something they don't have. Everything's energy. And so to fully get that and fully understand that, you have senses. And we just touched a little bit on the sight sense, the visual sense. And it's now documented for over 100 years by every top researcher that visioning, you holding a vision is the thing that helps create it. Nassim Haramein at his last lecture at Conscious Life Expo really shared, we are feeding information to the vortex, and the vortex is bringing out this information to us. Your heart can read everyone else's heart. I can read all of the people that I admire's heart, but until I felt equal to them, I couldn't inform them to the same degree. So as much as I wanted to help, the intent to help, I could get there. I could line up the braces, but only when I'm carrying the frequency and this other person also is. We lift each other up. We're informing the field with light. Everything is light. Everything is an electromagnetic field. So everything that's happening to you is happening to the universe. Everything that's happening to the universe is happening to you. So really getting clear with self-love, that energy of self-love. Our world is not at the heroic stage yet because there's not enough self-love of knowing yourself. And so the cycles of death and coming back into the next form, these beautiful flowers, right? They'll get composted. If there's a few bugs or something that dies around them, all of them get composted, turned into dirt. That dirt, if we threw corn and fish in there, like the Native Americans, could really harvest some food and more nutrition. We know now that if you plant a seed, if you moisten a seed with your own saliva and then plant that in dirt, in great dirt, it's going to produce medicine for you. It's going to become the bridge. Isn't that extraordinary? It's amazing. Nature's self-correcting. And so we're getting to the time where we get to just highlight what you heard as part of this, and then we'll jump into some readings. And I know, Kathleen, you were here so early, so I love that you made a note there and that you're part of this. So Kathleen, what did you hear us say tonight? Oh, you're muted on your end. You just said, awesome. Hi, I'm so glad to see you.
I love the seed. That seed becoming medicine is great.
Yeah.
What I got was basically you have to love yourself in order for any of us to love anybody or anything or do good. Okay, that's my takeaway from that is I'm learning to love myself, which is hard, Dr. Sarah. That's not easy.
It isn't. Ask me about it. Ask me about it, right? The first
I do
time
it.
I received money from someone as payment, I was in tears. I loved being of service. I loved paying in. Ask me about it, right? I know this is something I know.
I look in the mirror every day. I try to do my exercises every day. I try to live in the now. But yes, I do have a hard time with the loving yourself part. But I do love other people so much, and I do want to help everybody all the time. But again, I have a hard time truly loving myself.
Oh, and so, and those that have a really hard time, the body cushions you with extra padding.
There
So
you go.
yes,
There
yes,
you
the
go,
body
Dr. Sarah.
cushions you so that you, whenever there's, and it's the most important thing is it's not your fault, and your parents didn't love themselves, and so you've got the healing to do for probably about 4 generations on your body.
Wow. Because I was just going to say, I have such severe pain going across my back of my shoulders, up my head, and the vibrating, pounding, and I can't get it to stop it all. And I'm listening to you and I'm saying, okay, what am I doing? What am I not saying to my body that's causing this to happen?
And so your body requires for you to be in physical motion,
right? And I've been doing that.
Doing affirmations.
Yes, that, I do that, but then sometimes a negative thought will come into my head and I quickly go cancel, clear, delete. Yeah. And I start over, but so, I can't help it.
And the shoulders and the head. So the thought this is what your body is telling me, is there is a belief system that is ancient, 4 generations, that believes you can't take care of yourself.
Oh, yes. I believe that. Yes, absolutely.
And so this reminder over and over again of how you can take care of yourself, holding the vision with your third eye of if everything went away, you would be fine. That sort of scenario to really build up. And neuro-linguistic programming is really beautiful because it teaches you can go back in and it's one of the many techniques that can go in and heal 7 generations back, 7 generations forward. They literally show where the tail in genetics. And the thing that you have to do is say, my mom was fine. My grandmother was fine. My great-grandmother. Both shoulders, both heads. And you have to visualize yourself, like whenever the pain comes up. You don't have to go seeking it. Whenever the pain, vibration, right? Whenever it comes up, you go, oh gosh, I'm okay. I'll always be okay. And to really go, my mom was okay. And to really share over again that everybody was okay to some degree.
Okay. In the interim, is there anything I could do?
So you've done hot and cold is what your body's telling.
I have, and right now I have some patches on my neck because it's very, very, very painful.
It's so interesting because tea is amazing for you. Tea.
I drink it all the time.
So organic. I would love for you to put it on your moist heat. Tea bags. And it sounds funny, but it helps your digestion. It will help. Let's see you do that way. All right. That wasn't you.
I'm sitting right here. I haven't moved.
Right, we found you that way. It's interesting. Okay. So there we go. That's a great start. Teas,
Put the
affirmations.
tea bags on.
And I want you to get clove tea. Clove.
I cannot find clove oil anywhere. I have to tell you.
Amazon.
You told me Amazon. You told me to get it for my tooth. My tooth to this day is still hurting me very badly.
This is what your body said, Amazon, and you can get
Amazon.
Thank
okay,
you for
because they want to go back in and they want to take out the
Right.
filling.
I get it, love. I'm so glad that you're here. Do the clove. Do the clove.
Okay.
And that with okay, love. Yay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sarah.
You're welcome. Sheila, we can hear you. And
Hi,
so,
Dr. Larsen.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
I love the tonight's show. I'm going to listen to it again because there's so much to learn from it for sure. And a lot of it was resonating with me, especially as Kathy said, the self-love and how intelligent your body is and negative talk and all that. I was going to ask you, I've been very, very tired lately. And I was wondering if you thought I had an iron deficiency and also I have sleep problems as well.
Right. Your
dry
body
mouth.
is inflamed. Your body is very, very inflamed. Oh, it's so interesting. So you stretch. Tell me about you and stretching.
Oh, this is so true. I've been trying to do some exercising at home to a videotape and kind of got a sore hand from trying to do push-ups and that. And
yeah, so this has been useful for you. Let's tune in just a little bit more. Oh my gosh, you're sensitive to electromagnetics, so much so, and you've known this for a while. So you shifted a little bit. What shifted in your field? Because a lot of electromagnetic field stuff has come in recently.
Oh, I don't know. I have to think about that. I'm not sure.
So work-wise or home-wise, what's changed? So I want to answer specifically, it's not iron deficiency, although it would be really great for you to eat greens with lemon. And what lemon does is, so you cook a whole bunch of greens, meaning this is for you, Sheila. In your body needs micronutrients.
Yes.
You cook a bunch of greens and then you, well cooked. It's like making dirt. And what will happen is if you're eating well cooked, my grandmother used to make like a 6-hour spinach. She would slow cook it on the stove for 6 hours. And the lid would be on it the entire time. It would extract the nutrients. And you put it into your body with fresh lemon on top. Mustard greens, I said spinach, but I mean all kinds of greens.
Yes.
Cooked slow over a long period of time. Put lemon on it and it becomes literally, and you eat that for a number of days with fresh cut off the tree lemons every day.
Yes.
On top of it, and your body will start extracting the micronutrients that you need, and it will start pulling out. It feels like you're blocked. Your digestive tract is a little bit blocked. So electromagnetic field, what really works great with them, I usually have one in every room. Crystals are great. I don't see my pyramid in here, but what electromagnetic field inhibitor or absorber, and you can make them. And I've had several people have requests. We'll do that very soon within Miracle Makers Academy. Share how to make those. Get crystals and crystals, water, greens. And then when was the last time you had your blood work done?
I had it done last month and my iron was just normal, but on the low side.
And It's so funny because iron is one of the, and hemoglobin is one of those things that uses the micro components. So it might look normal on a test, but it requires the micronutrients to really be functioning.
My God. And do you think with my sleep, any suggestions? And I wake up often with very dry mouth.
Right. That's the electromagnetics. You've got to make sure all the lights are off, all the, so what vitamin are you taking? What supplements?
I take a multivitamin and a B12 and fish oil and calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, probiotic, take a magnesium.
It feels like you could probably switch the multivitamin.
Okay.
The reason that there's something I feel like as you were speaking, your voice changed right there. And again, it's something great to go over with someone, but there's probably a component in that's not necessarily helping you, that you're having to. So electromagnetic stuff, the field of, I mean, it's connected to deeper stuff, right?
Right.
Connected to deeper stuff, but these are the physical things that you can do to get you on the right path.
Put water by your bed, crystals.
Crystals, water. We actually literally have crystal in every one of our jugs, every one of our vases. And it magnetizes the water differently. It's absorbed. But the big trick, within a couple of weeks of at least 3 times a week having, or more, having greens with fresh lemon on them, slow cooked, will make a huge difference and impact in your ability to sleep, dry mouth, the whole thing. Knock out the vitamin and see if you can find something that's more resonant with your body.
Okay, what kind of crystal do you put in your water?
We've got different types. We've got quartz in, we've got amethyst, we've got rose quartz, and we've got citrine. So
put them all in your water.
We have them in our water. We've done it for a number of years, and the science, and our water breathes. Literally, our water is open to the air. It's being informed by the air. The air is informing it. The only time that it's covered is when we have someone come over to help us clean and take care of so they get covered, but the rest of the time, unless they're literally living water breathing.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yay. I love doing Miracle Makers Academy. I love that I'm able to give this to you. If you really love this community and want to be able to help others, I so encourage every one of you to go and sign in and join the Academy. The basic package is $10 a month. There's a lifetime membership for $1,000, and you get an hour with me. We also create a guided meditation for you. We also go in and we take a look at all of the different tests or the supplements. You can be anywhere in the world, and that lifetime membership, we're doing that as a bonus. You can only take on, like Gayle and David Marsh, I can only take on so many clients for the year. And so I took them on because their work and their mission is so beautiful. And I'm going to just share really quickly right here their work. Let's see if the sound is turned on. This is Exploring the Human Journey. They're in season 2. Their mission and work is so beautiful, and the narrative they're telling is really helping people be able to expand what's possible, to break limiting beliefs. And so I made time in my schedule out of the sort of the philanthropic, all of the Hollywood world, to come in and just listen to how they share right here. And then we'll have them come in. Let's make sure this is...
My name is David Marsh.
My name is Gayle Marsh, and we are exploring the human journey.
We used to think that we were just human beings with a single lifetime to live, pay some bills, eventually die, and then be subject to eternal reward or eternal punishment.
But through study, research, and personal journey, we have discovered an even better narrative, that we are actually spiritual beings having a human experience.
Now, this gives us the ability to actually enjoy our lives and see everything as an experience rather than a test. We're here to connect, to live, to love, and enjoy the ride.
Exploring the Human Journey is a show about discovery. We talk with people and hear their experiences as they travel their path in this life.
Each guest is someone who has a unique perspective and has something to say about life, death, and the spiritual world.
They are doing the same thing you are, exploring life. You are an individual expression of the divine, living life as only you can do it.
If you've ever had questions about life, death, or the spiritual world, you're going to love exploring the human journey.
This is a conversation where we can ask questions and explore together just what this whole thing is about.
There's nothing you need to have. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to be except for you.
Join us each week and explore your own human journey.
I love that so much, and I appreciate that so much, because the work that they're doing, more and more people are watching just video as education as we move forward. YouTube, and they do this from their hearts. They're now able to, and we're bridging that to build a business and grow, but it's so beautiful. I'd love for you to just share what's coming up for you guys.
Go ahead.
It's just fun being on the journey, seeing what's possible and creating a vibration of something that's higher, being led by the intuition to say, oh yeah, we need to explore and expand, and then just create possibilities. You know, what is possible, not being limited by an old belief system, being able to say, well, what could we do if, and figuring out how to create, the income possibility, the business model, blah, 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 whatever it is. It's all about raising consciousness and just being part of the community.
It's all about raising consciousness, and why you did it is it's so huge. I love your why. I'm going to share what I've heard you say is why. You said the reason that you do this is you were given this narrative that really shut you down for a long time. And when you got a new narrative, you were able to create so much more. And you wanted everyone on the world to have that. And so you started using your skill set to really share.
Yeah. Just letting those limiting beliefs go, whatever those earth mythologies that have been developed, and just opening up to new possibilities and being able to actually enjoy your life. And I was afraid of hell my whole life, so I'm learning to love the hell out of life.
Learning to love the hell out of life. And what did you guys get out of tonight's conversation so far?
You know, I think the part that I took away was listening to your body, that your body is really speaking to you. And I think that we bypass that so often. And, really getting back and getting quiet into my yes in my body, where's my no in my body, and taking a minute to pause and see before you make a decision where that's coming up for you. And, I love what you taught us on when we were recording the show yesterday, of how your body will get like goosebumps and it's producing those stem cells, and different ways, the excitement in your heart, and it's producing stem cells, and that's what's actually like repairing your body. And it's so important to listen to your body.
So beautiful. So beautiful. And thank you guys for doing this work. Literally, you are doing it for all of Earth, all of the universe, all of the conversations. You interviewed some luminaries like Robert Quicksilver, who's never given an interview, who's been in the field, was a monk, worked for his whole life, basically, in the consciousness movement. Has been asked by great people to do a, I can't wait for everyone to experience that through your lens.
I know, that was so fun. And I just love how at the end of it, he's like, can we do that again?
Let's do another one. So good.
Do another one. So beautiful. You guys are so good. Is there anything I can answer for you? And Dawn Dawn said, oh my gosh, I just love you too. And so
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
it's exploring the human journey. And for anyone that's watching this, how many episodes are there?
We've got about, I think we're releasing episode 65 or something like that this week. And then we recorded 10 more over the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Sarah.
So to follow them on YouTube, on social media, it's all exploring the human journey. And they literally got people that no one else has gotten to be interviewed this.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, it's fun because everybody's got a story. And, you know, what is it that you found out that helped you on your journey? And everybody's like, oh, it just lights them up. And then we all learn so much from hearing someone else's experience. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
So beautiful. So lovely. Anything I can answer for you as you're home in this journey?
Tyler.
Tyler, I can feel him coming home, at home, that energy. So tell me about that.
Just, you know, we came home and everything was kind of a mess and he's sick and it just seems like he's getting hit one after another and not really being able to put things together.
He's interesting because whenever he goes into a bathtub or a bath, sort of connecting with himself is a big deal right now.
Mm.
Yeah, I noticed he must have taken several baths while we were gone.
Yeah. And so this part of his body is asking for permission to just be his body's asking for permission from him to continue to move forward, to keep going on. And so, and he's got it mentally, he's got the drive and the will to go on. It's emotionally, he needs other people to really go, gosh, however you're going to show up, we're going to love you. What you're here to do, whether you're in this body or not, you're going to be able to complete. So he needs to let go. He's like holding on like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, he's holding on and you just have to give him permission. And the permission is this real thing of going and sitting with him and in your hearts, in your body, in your energy field, in everything that exists, to really go, you've got permission. Just let go. Whatever happens, what you're here to do, what you're gonna create will get done. It's gonna get done through you. And it might be in this body, it might be in another body, but everybody's holding on too tightly.
Okay.
So another way that I can say that is everyone's going like this. And there's so many things stacked on top. There's so much being held. And so he's trying to put all of it down.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
I guess we'll have to kind of sit with that one and kind of really maybe sit with him.
And to really go, it's a tough thing for a parent to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys have been fighting so hard to go, you have to do this first, you have to do this second, you have to do this third. He's been on this journey that I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this.
Yeah, well, it's hard because it's, you know, it's like he had to call the instructor to get permission to finish his yoga classes. And so it's like, you know, have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done it? And, you know, I guess I just need to let that go.
You got to put all of that down. You really just have to like literally say you're going to get everything you're here to do done. Let's put everything you have to do down. It's not, if not in this body, to really, like, if you really trust he's a spirit, he's a soul, and that he's never going to go away, and that you're never going to go away, how does that change you? What happens for you?
That's so good.
Yeah.
I love that. Just giving presence to we're spiritual beings having human experience. It totally changes everything. This isn't a one and done and, oh, I got to get it right or else. Allow yourself to have that journey. And I think we have opened up to that.
Yeah.
It's still in 3D world. It's challenging. We're like, oh, you didn't do anything. You've been watching TV in your room and you're just like hanging out. What, you know, I mean, the 3D-ness of me wants to see, well, do something to help move forward. So that maybe that's a challenge for me.
Yeah. And I think part of the next journey, right, this came up when you were in Los Angeles, of even Lisa Haisha tuned into it. She's very, very intuitive in her coaching. In the morning when I tuned into all of the miracle makers and I said, oh my gosh, the message came for you to really film yourself here, do this, do that. There's some, and Hollywood stars came up, right? And then we talked about you possibly, like just in that brief conversation, being able to leave Phoenix and come to LA and something. And that would mean that your kids would have a totally different trajectory, right?
Yeah.
That would be cutting the umbilical cord.
Yeah. And that's what we kind of feel like might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this real trust of cutting the umbilical cord before you go means, listen, we're just going to let you have this space. You know what to do. And when you're ready, you're going to do it. And we're putting down every expectation of you. And we're just going to love you. However you show up. And I'm going to say that another way. I used to say, I can only love myself if I'm 110 pounds. I can only love myself if I never smoke another cigarette for the rest of my life. And I've gotten there. I think I've finally gotten to where I won't ever pick up another cigarette, right? I can only love myself if I serve people. And I can only love myself. Some women and some men have the narrative, if I can be in a marriage. I can only love myself if I've got children. I can only approve of myself. And you fill that in. You fill in whatever that narrative is. And so in his case, you go, we're putting everything down. We're going to love you. You know what to do. We know you're a spiritual being having this human experience. And your spirit and you are trying to connect.
Okay.
And
that helps.
That's good.
Yeah. Yay. I love you guys. Thank you
so
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we had, I think we had Lisa next. Lisa, I just muted you. Hi, love.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What can we answer for you?
Well, I just experienced a loss. My daughter's dad recently passed away. And it's just brought up a lot of feelings and, you know, sadness and feeling depressed. And just wondering, I was listening to what you were saying about how things are showing up in your body, you know, and I just feel like it's just really challenging for me to just function at this point, to do what I need to do. I mean, I'm still, you know, working and taking care of things, but I feel like there's a part of me that feels like
there's a lot of stuff that you guys didn't say to each other. It's so funny.
Yeah.
he showed me a rock, and then he showed me like a letter U, but it's more like a horseshoe than a letter U, and it even makes me think of a musical instrument, the way that it's like crafted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has more to do with your child than with him. And yeah, it's really interesting. This rock has a hole in it that he's showing me. And that, like, he was, and what that means to me in my senses is he is so sorry. He was so harsh. And it was like he had a hard head and a hole in his head at times.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, it does.
He didn't communicate a lot of stuff that he wished he would have with both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to write out a lot of the communication that hasn't been communicated.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it back on again.
You said write it out.
Write it out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you're able to write it out, it will make a major difference.
And that'll help to release it, or to.
It will help it release it. It won't be mayhem in your body. Actually, what he's asking for is, it's so interesting. You guys weren't in communication for a while.
Well, I mean, we stayed in touch, you know, we stayed in touch. We lived in different states.
Yeah. He's showing, like, so if you did 21 days of writing letters to him,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's interesting because there's physical stuff of his. What does that mean? You guys have physical stuff of his to handle?
Yeah, my daughter does. I mean, she has things that belong to him. His estate is pretty much, I think, settled. But yeah, she has things. Uh-huh.
And so so for her, a trip there would be meaningful.
Okay, a trip to where he used to live?
To where he used to live.
Okay.
That would make a major difference for both of you guys.
Okay. And my oldest daughter just moved there to where he used to live, so perhaps
to reconnect, right? To get there and reconnect. And that there's something greater at play at work between you all.
Okay.
So yeah. Awesome. Was there anything that stood out for you in the lecture, in the sharing, in the talk?
Just how I didn't think about how I'm feeling now is connected to my parents and things that had not been worked out through generations. I thought that was really interesting, that things that come up for me now are things that perhaps were not addressed or settled with my parents, or things even that my mother was thinking or experiencing when she was carrying me, you know, those types of things. It just gave me like this feeling like that's something I need to explore, you know, a little further. So I thought that was very, very deep and profound.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for that. And we'll and that this part of when you write the 21 days worth of letters to your ex, it will shift your children's DNA.
Okay.
To really get that, because energy is never created nor destroyed. And we don't yet fully have the science behind it, but we've seen of ghosts, and we've seen the imprints of all of these other supernatural things. And in my own experience of communicate with and release and connect with those that aren't in physical form. And so that's another way to say that is quite often in a session, or you can tune in to the exact things that needed to be said and shifted, and you know it was from them. And so I'd really love for you to explore what the rock and with a hole in it means. And it's sometimes like a musical instrument that's sort of like a harp or a flute. I mean, not a flute, but a string instrument. And connected to your daughters there. Explore that, and signs will come in for you. If energy's never created nor destroyed, it's just elegantly more in a state of grace. That state of grace is available still to both of you guys.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
Lisa.
thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarah.
Welcome. You're welcome. Yay. Let's go into, I think it was Janice. I think you were here next. Hi, love.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Oh, you're so welcome. What's going on? What did you get from the talk tonight first?
Just thinking about intuition and how you feel in your body. It's just very subtle.
Yes, it's very subtle until until it's broadcasting itself.
Yes.
The first way that you hear it, and the layers of ourselves, it's so beautiful, Janice. We usually hear our ego first, and we hear layers of our ego before we hear that still quiet voice. And when we teach ourselves to start listening for that, it's amazing, because then that becomes the loudest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything else you want to share, and anything we can dive into?
Yeah. I've been transitioning to a more vegan diet over the last couple of years. And I feel like that's helped my intuition a lot, not taking in those animal products into my system and that fear and everything.
That animals, right? They did the studies to show how much fear hormones are in animals before, because their heart knows what's about to happen.
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot more confidence, a lot more courage. But I just want to know what I need to do to replace the meat nutritionally, what I need to eat to supplement it.
So it's been about 2 years?
About.
And you're plant-based, but you still have meat from time to time.
Every once in a while I do.
Okay. And it's interesting because your body gives you the signal that it's really important for you to have meat. And I think that's why you're asking now. Let's see what comes in. It's interesting because bone broth. It's interesting, bone broth. For some reason, your body's saying bone broth. It will help some of the achiness.
Okay.
That's not replacing it yet. So instead of meat, like when you kind of dream of it or when you feel that you need it, to go into bone broth is a really great idea. Then the energy, the next level of energy, I love what you took away from this talk and from this is because you're ready for this type of wisdom. Even Nassim Haramein talked about being a breatharian. I'm going to say that another way. We don't need food, is what the latest scientific physicist, celebrated physicist, is saying. is talking about. He shared about a time on the island that he was so into his research and so into development that he forgot to eat or didn't have the money to eat. He was so committed to his work that he was a breatharian. And what a breatharian is just living on prana, living on chi, living on life. And so I invite you to begin with your belief systems, inviting in the idea that you can extract from the environment everything that you need, and you don't need animal products. Did that make sense?
That makes sense.
You're ready for that. And just to get your body, and so transitioning from meat into bone broth will give you everything you thought you were missing. And then every time the idea that some nutritional supplement, something might be missing, to breathe in for the next few meditations, I'm going to extract from the environment, from my breath, what my body is requiring. I'm working on being a breatharian, right?
Oh, I like that.
Sharing that and making that the key focus, and noticing how your body expands into that.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome, Janice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. This is for everyone. I love that you're here. I really love for you to share Miracle Makers Academy. We really want as many people to be leaders and heroes and carrying that miracle frequency, so that every person, there's coming a time that your community, everyone that's around you, requires you to carry energy and strength for two. That's what being a hero is. And the miracle frequency is always available to us. It's always present. And if you really, it's so much easier to have someone else that you're doing it with and experiencing or sharing it with. The reason that Gayle and Dave are getting it so quickly and so beautifully is they're sharing this vibration together. So if there's someone in your community, and again, what are we, even if you can't join the calls, what your $10 a month or your lifetime membership goes to is to helping build, we're supporting people on 5 continents. And we're with school, with health, with wellness. It's really beautiful to be able to say, wow, I trust me more, because there's that $10 a month or the lifetime membership, or even the higher level coaching is towards that energy in the world. So let's see, we've got time for a few more. I see you, Dawn. I'm so glad that you're here. Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
Hi. What came out for you from the parts of the lecture that you heard and experienced, and what stands out for you there?
Oh my goodness. What really impacted me had to do with the instructions you gave me last time. I don't know if you remember, you asked me to open myself to receiving that romantic love from another person. And it was the last thing I wanted to hear. And I want to thank you so much for saying that. Today you said, we pour light into, we inform the field and we inform each other, and then it informs us. And so I can just see that next level of what we get to be here together on this earth, and really understanding how to master that, not only between us giving to each other, but like you were saying, Gayle and David, and what's happening with them, coming together with another person who's willing to hold that miracle frequency with you and to do the dance of polarities and dynamic balance. And there's just so much goodness coming this year. And
goodness. Oh, I love it. Yes.
And I'm so happy to be a part of it. And today I just went to the doctor to find out what was going on with my finger. And oh my goodness, I let myself fall deep down into this dark hole, and I came onto the video just crying, just barely even having any energy, limping in. And it was transformed as I was listening to you and just allowing myself to start to release those, whatever thoughts those are, whether they're mine or whether they're from my ancestors, that are speaking to me in the different things that I'm experiencing in my body right now.
It's so interesting because fingers are the representative parts of us that energy goes out from us. And when we experience things around our fingers, energetically, and I love that you went and found out what was happening. And do you feel comfortable sharing what was happening?
Well, they don't know. What they wanted to tell me is that it was Raynaud's syndrome. And that doesn't completely resonate for me.
So, and I'm going to bring this back to if energy is going out from your heart, and we think of the image of Leonardo da Vinci's man, his hands are all the way out, they're up, the legs extended. That's how energy moves through our body. If you think of Kate Winslet on the front of the Titanic with her arms out and really being supported by something behind her, in that case it was Leonardo da Vinci, Leonardo DiCaprio in that case, but it literally is like that level of soaring into the wind, soaring into life. And you're that kind of person. You're the kind, your soul came in to soar and be the cutting edge through the sort of the wind to carry a big ship. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm. I
And
do.
you have limited your expression of love based on the past.
Mm-hmm. The micro traumas.
And micro traumas. And so the micro vasculature of your hand. And it's amazing. I had a woman, I've had about 3 different people in my work come in with a finger, like one particular finger swollen. The energy wouldn't go back, and we did the work. We did the correcting of the belief system. So one woman didn't, but 3 out of 4 of the people that came in, it was just interesting to me because life brought me the same symptom in 4 different people. 3 of the people did everything without fear. And it's interesting, the 4th woman was too medically inclined. She was too smart for her own good is another way to say that in that case. And so it shifted, but it didn't shift completely.
Too much logos and not enough mythos.
Too much logos, not enough mythos. And so that Raynaud syndrome, when you really get where that's where energy's coming out, and your job is not to defend against how you express love. I'm going to say that another way, and it's so important to hear the subtle meaning of this. And the subtle meaning here is you were worried that other people might interpret your love wrongly. So you stopped being as cute and as funny as whatever it is that you label yourself and know yourself to.
Wow. You just healed my inner child in such a huge way saying that. I almost want to ask you to say it again.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. There's been a reading of the energy field with how you show up rather than delivering your authentic, true, most vibrant self.
It's so big, it's hard for people to receive it. I love so big. I think I burned their retinas a little bit.
Oh, so do you hear yourself though, right?
Yes.
Hear yourself, right? So there's the Renault, there's the origin.
Yeah. Mm.
So your love for them supersedes your ability to express yourself. I'm going to say that another way. It's so, so important. You are a big yes to yourself until you think you might harm another.
Yes. Exactly.
And so here you stop yourself, and that's a limiting belief.
Yeah.
That has not been serving you and giving you symptoms in the area your energy goes out.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So glad you're here. So, so glad you're here. Yay.
Thank you so much.
So welcome. I think I saw, I think Erin, I think you were next. Let's unmute you. Let's see if we can unmute you for a second. Hi, love.
Hi.
What did you get out of today's conversation?
I felt so much with it. It's funny that that's what I've really been focusing on, is different things that have been going on in my body, and trying to basically heal those pieces of me and to be able to show up and trust myself. That's exactly it, is trust myself. And so it just talked right to my heart. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And anything we can answer for you?
What would you like to tell me?
You're hungry. Your body's hungry.
It's sitting right next to me.
That's what, when I tuned into your body, it's so funny. And it would be so good. It's a good feeling, actually, to go into this. You're hungry for knowledge as well as physically, and you're hungry for everything. And this is such an expansive energy for you right now. So it involves going and taking a little bit more risk. Sorry, our neighbor's got some really big dogs. I'm going to have to probably move my office to the other side of our home, but they got some really big dogs. And I think sometimes they're louder than me when I'm in my office. But that's what you're hearing, is our neighbor's dogs. There's hunger that's happening in your body, and there's hunger that's happening in your spirit. You're so wanting to serve, so wanting to help, so wanting to give. And your ability to do it online is what's standing out right now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So to move yourself into giving online, because there's been a physical limitation in the community that you're in and around to be able to give. Does that sound right?
I'm actually feeling a lot of maybe the opposite. Like there's some things really opening up for me to be able to do it. I feel like, yeah, like I'm feeling that I kind of cut myself off from those real connections, and that's something that really has affected like my whole spirit in general. And so like a real human connection is also something that I really feel that I need to have. And I finally stepped into like following that intuition, and the experience I had with my friend just barely the other night. It was sincerely the most amazing thing ever. So like the subtle to the like huge, like broadcasting itself, knocking you over, I get.
It's so beautiful. And I think maybe it was kind of the dog's energy here with us as well, but I want to like restate that. So it helps taking what you experienced, write about it, and put it online. And it makes the physical experience, the connection that you had in your neighborhood, continue and expand and give to you in this other place as well. That makes sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. Thank you.
And I think the being online is a huge thing for you, not just the physical experience, but something happens for you when it goes from the physical right here world to the electronic world, digital world.
Yes. I feel like I was able to open up essentially better online, and I've been afraid I don't know how to be with people.
Yeah.
And I want to learn how to be with people, like literally with them, as if, you know, I could open up as much as I do, you know, without them seeing me in front of me, if that makes sense.
So, Erin, I want you to share the story of what happened the other night, and then share what you just said right here. And it will free you and create so much community around you. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Yay. I love you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think Ada 5 was next. Hi, love.
Hi. Thank you. Before I say anything, I had an idea, and that was for you to have flyers about miracle makers that people could post, that people could print out and then post in their local stores, grocery stores.
Thank you. I will send those to you. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. And
yeah,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that you would be getting quite a few people that way. Yes.
So
Are you still there?
I am. What stood out for you in what you heard tonight?
Well, it's always reassuring that we're going to complete whatever we came to do. That's always helpful to hear that. And the limitations, that there really are no limitations, and that aging and death are just another limitation.
Yes, I would only do this if I was younger, right? Or I would love myself if I was, so important, so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's very uplifting as usual, the whole program.
And this is what's coming in for you so strongly. This
oh my gosh.
With focus. What comes up with you when we talk about focus?
So, I am so scattered, and I went down the rabbit hole because there's a local situation that's extremely drastic, and it's very low vibration, and it's part of an agenda, and I was getting way down the rabbit hole with that, thinking that I should get involved with that situation. But I know it's a spiritual battle, but it's extremely dark.
So I'm so glad that you're here. I would love for you to draw a triangle on your mirror. And I want you to put on that triangle, one side, I am in the center, and I want you to put your family, because that's what matters to you most. Yourself, like your body, your nutrition, your healing, and then a third thing on the other end of the triangle. What's the third thing?
Whatever I'm supposed to do in this world.
And
whatever I'm, why did I come? whatever I'm supposed to do for humanity. Yeah.
So taking care of family, it lights you up, you light them up. Taking care of yourself lights you up, lights them up. And the pinnacle, the top thing on the very, meaning what you're here to do for humanity, I want you to put the word vision.
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 Okay.
What you want to give more vision to. You make everything more possible or light up. I'm going to say that another way. Whatever you bring to someone else, they light up about. Is that true?
I have found that to be true. Yeah.
So part of your skill set, part of what you're here to do, that word vision. So I am family, I am self, and I am. And so if it is something that you wish did not exist, if you don't put any of your attention to it, it goes away. What you give your vision to expands. So the Mayan day keepers who shared stories, the ancient Egyptians, there's all of these different archetypes. The human design, are you familiar with them? Human design?
A little bit. I never investigated it deeply.
Right. There's a scientific study of when we lock in the solar system into our body. And what you have with your solar system, what comes in, what you locked in as part of your mission, your vision, anything that you give your vision to gets created. And I'm going to say this another way. I'm going to unmute you again. I just muted you for a second because I wanted to make sure I got that thought out. This last part that I want to share that's so important is what you like. Think about what you were doing in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. You have helped create the movement that is occurring right now. The empowerment, the display of sort of the underbelly of things, the shadow coming up and being removed, different kinds of acknowledgments. And I know it's a lot for me to say, but if you put your present mind to it, that's what's happened. Would you agree?
Well, I would like to think that, that would be very helpful to think like that. Yeah.
So you've got to really be protective of what you give vision and visualize, or what you give light to.
Okay.
So if you wish it did not exist, you can be informed about it, but don't push it forward. Don't spend any more energy on it. Only push forward the parts that are lovely, juicy energy. You've got, this is what's in your signature energy field. Only push forward with your life force what you wish and believe should be and exist.
That would be the new earth, which I was very 150% into new earth. And then I thought my responsibility would be, I finally decided it would be Ho'oponopono to neutralize this intense darkness, about as dark as you can get.
Yes.
And, but I don't know if that's part of my job to do.
Every time you think about the new earth and Ho'oponopono, everything that isn't the new earth, you do Ho'oponopono with, and you catch the vision of the new earth within the framework of everything can be forgiven, every energy released. every darkness let go. And you're like, I did the work. It's being let go. I don't need to share it further.
Yeah, I did make that mistake of sharing it. Yeah. Okay, well that is helpful. I'll just go back to doing Ho'oponopono and
And I was so much
hopefully
up for you from that. So glad you're here, love. Thank you so much. And that suggestion, I will email everybody and say, here's a flyer about Miracle Makers. Could you help us? We really just want everyone to be prepared. The emotional resiliency. Audrey, would you say since joining Miracle Makers, what's happened for you?
Well, I would say I am more resilient, but I will tell you that this darkness that's about as dark as you can get just threw me totally off. But Miracle Makers is a bright light, that is for sure. I mean, you're lifting up the planet through the high frequency vibes in that work. It's a beautiful work, and I'm feeling like I am part of it, which is helpful.
Which is helpful.
This
is the other thing that I want you to fully get. In the past, this darkness would have knocked you out for days. Is that true? Maybe
well,
months.
I think the thing with me is that I feel everybody should be doing Ho'oponopono because this thing affects all of humanity, and we've got to overcome it.
Right.
And I think it's so dark, and it's got to be, we've got to.
And because I want you to acknowledge yourself here, it would have knocked you out. It would have
probably
put you in covers before, right?
Probably, yeah. It would have made me really sick.
It would have made you sick, and in the time, and now there's a feeling that's different from hearing the same type of news.
Yeah.
And you're stronger.
Yeah, I am stronger, but it's
carrying more people, meaning you're still, before it would have knocked you down, you would have gotten physically sick. Your body loves this acknowledgement that you're getting stronger.
Oh, fantastic.
Like when you really get this, something will click and go, wow, it would have knocked me out maybe for a month, a few weeks. My body would have gotten sick. And now I have the strength to just share about it. And I shared about it and I let it go. And it didn't take me over and expand its journey through me.
Hopefully not. I will tell you, I did go into quite a bit of fear, but I've overcome that, and I did probably share it too much with people because I felt people should know about it, which everybody will know about it in the future, but it's just, yeah, I guess I am stronger because it's so horrific, like unspeakable.
It will help it continue to grow stronger. Enough energy for two.
Fabulous. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to mute you. You're welcome. You're unmuted for a second if there was anything else you wanted to add.
No, just thank you so much. Those were helpful words.
You're so welcome. Yay, we are going a little bit over. And if you need to jump off, go ahead and jump off. It's really, really okay. There were some people that joined a little bit later. And I know, Natalie, I'm so glad that you went to Conscious Life Expo. Gayle and David shared that they met you and just the whole exchange, a little bit about that. They're here on this call as well. You are unmuted, my love.
Yay. Hi, everyone. Yeah, it was so cool to be there and to meet them, and it all just lined up so perfectly, as it always does. It was amazing.
It's so amazing. So perfect. Oh, I'm so glad, love. That's awesome. Is there anything that's coming up for you or anything that stood out so far from what you caught tonight?
Yeah, I came on at the very tail end. I don't know what the conversation was about tonight, but I'm excited to have a crystal workshop coming up on the 10th of March for some young ladies.
Yes,
so that'll be good.
Holtz is going to teach in Miracle Makers crystals as well. So she's going to do a class. Tell us about the one March 10th. I know it's
with the. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just thought you might be fading out. Go ahead and share.
Oh, sure. Basically, it's for young women, I think, only. It's through a healing center that's part of the complex where I work. And yeah, we're going to focus on crystals and how to use them and how to choose them. And then I'm going to do a little meditation with my vocal toning at the end. And it'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great community. So I think there'll be some good girls to sign up.
That is fantastic, love. So beautiful. Anything we can answer for you?
When is my TV show coming in so I can quit my job? Yeah, no, it's just been intense at work, and I'm just looking forward to things shifting.
It's so beautiful. And I love part of tonight's message was really getting into timelessness. And Natalie, you have manifested so much over the few years, right? Over, I guess, maybe close to like 10 years. Manifesting so much when you go into the timeless meditation. And you feel it, and you feel it, and you feel it. Natalie Coltz like manifested a car. One day she thought, oh, I'm going to try this out. Many years ago, maybe 4 years ago or 5 years ago, in Miracle Makers, we were called Personal Development for Extraordinary People then. And she's like, I'm going to manifest this car. And that day, her tip from people was a car. Someone gifted her a car. That's a very version, but this is every time you get timeless, you manifest.
Yes.
Yes.
Timeless. Okay, so I have to keep and what you were saying too, I think I forget to whom you were speaking, but about focusing on what you want and not giving energy toward what you don't want.
Yes. So
yeah, just really refocusing my energy, even though if it's in the chaos, just trying to pull back and focus on what I'm creating.
Focus on what you're creating. And then do you want to talk about some of the things you've manifested, like hummingbirds in your hand, you know, like the things that you said, I want to manifest this, and start talking about that. What have you manifested?
Well, with the car, it was joking with someone about them buying me a car, and then kind of knowing that that was possible, and then really just consciously letting it go, feeling like that is a possibility. And then one day my car broke down on the way to work. I was crying at one point because I was so frustrated, but on the way to work, I was just, after I got it fixed, I just told myself, don't talk about it. It's just drama. Just be present and happy. That's exactly what I said to myself. And then got to work. That's what I did. And in walks the couple that was gonna, you know, we had joked about it, and they sat down. They're like, we decided we're gonna buy you a car. I was like, what? It was so cool. So beautiful.
Cool. You joked about it. You laughed about it. You sent the signal out. You let it go. Then
present and happy, boom.
Present and happy, boom. The car showed up. The hummingbird, right? About
hummingbird. I was praying for a sign from God that I was supported, just having a hard day. Then I actually forgot about it. Went about my day. There's a hummingbird trapped in a bush. I let it alone for a little bit to see if it could manage on its own. I didn't want to interfere if I wasn't supposed to. Came back 20 minutes later. It was still there. So I was like, okay, I definitely need to help. Pulled it out. It wouldn't fly. So I let it eat out of my hand. I would hold it up to flowers, and it was eating, and it still sat there. So I brought it up to my apartment. I was like, I don't know what to do with you. I get up to my apartment. I'm like, I asked God for a hummingbird in my apartment today. Because I specifically said when I was praying that morning, how about a hummingbird manifests in my apartment? Boom, hummingbird.
Boom, right in your apartment. And so I love this, right? You put the signal out to the universe. When's my TV show? Now let it go and get happy.
Happy, yes. Okay, this is good.
You've got it, right?
Yes. Do I need to get super clear on exactly what TV show? I mean, I feel like I'm pretty clear on the essence of it and what I want it to be for the world. And that's probably the important part, right?
And literally like catching the whole vision, experiencing it and being like, woohoo, yay. And then just let it go. Being like, whatever shows up, however it happens, there'll be some time. It will, just like the hummingbird, right? You'll
Right.
having a conversation with someone, they might say, oh, do you want to be part of it? And you're like, no, it doesn't look right in your mind. But you're like, sure, let me go check it out. Just like the hummingbird still needs me.
Right.
The bush, and you're like, the hummingbird still needs me. Then you bring it upstairs, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that's what I'd asked for. And it's very much a similar experience. Just get happy, and any step in that direction, you're like, just be happy.
That's perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for getting me in that. Yeah, I feel it.
You're so welcome. And what would you say to someone who hasn't yet signed up for lifetime membership or for Miracle Makers? Because we are going to put this one on YouTube and the internet. But what would you say to them as your experience? Someone who's been with, I think, like 10 years. We've been on this journey for 10 years.
Yes. I'm one of your biggest fans. I'll say that. But honestly, it's such a great support system to have something structured in your life where you can check in, and it really is about the vibration you're carrying, Sarah, and that you're creating. And for us to be able to step into that, you're creating a beautiful container for us. And I'm really grateful because I know it's making a difference in my life and truly everyone who works with you.
Thank you, love. And so that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. The reason that we do this, and Natalie is such a talented, gifted, I mean, she's manifested roles in on plays, in TV commercials, jobs, the whole experience. The more she lights up, the more she's able to deliver this wisdom that she keeps within her, this wisdom of animal communication, service to the planet through that as well. It's extraordinary what's been created for the community. I think we are running out of time. I know Stephen, I wonder if he left. He was, and Mott, we've tried to unmute you. But let's see if this time, M-O-T. Okay. I love that Dawn shared. I'm going to manifest a truck, a beautiful one. Natalie, you're so inspiring. So beautiful. I think the last person just joined us. Sien Che Wang. I wonder if you, is there anything we can answer for you? You just joined a couple minutes ago. And you're not muted. Okay. All right, so we will wrap it up right here. And it's today we really went into a journey together. We did a little bit of exploring the human journey. We really went in and understood so much of the different possibilities for tapping into your intuition. Your body knows your dreams, and your body knows whether you did the right thing or the wrong thing. Your body can either be a yes or a no, and everything you understand comes from something beyond you. So there's energy, we are the sum of all of our parts. You have tools within you to help you. Beyond you, your heart extends beyond you. Your heart is both inside you and it's outside you. And it's one of the easiest examples that we have so much science for how you tune in and send signals out through your heart. Negative emotions or negative ideas or not loving yourself creates a negative vibe out there, a negative frequency. And so someone comes into your life and says the exact negative words that you need to hear to overcome those words, that energy, so you can see it back to yourself. The environment, your heart, for example, is always communicating with something outside yourself. Happiness is what? When you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. And so if you want to know if you're in harmony, you really tune into your body. And your body is a bridge. It's a bridge between you and this current now moment. It's a bridge between you and all of your ideas and everything that you're ready to let go of. Anywhere that you feel pain, that pain may have come from ancestral, from your parents, from your genetics. Your first layer is being a bridge between your parents, the DNA or their belief systems, their ideas. And so your body can go on for as long as you need it to. The earth, we know, is so old, 4.3 billion years old and counting. So many things exist. If the earth can do it, and there are several examples of people that have lived beyond our current thinking of 100, 125 years. You've got the familiar senses: sight, light, life, hearing, voice. The unfamiliar sense with that is ultrasound. Because we researched our voice, we now can go into ultrasound, bats, echolocation, all of and dolphins being able to connect through hearing and create a whole environment within their brain. It's so interesting because we fully understand that. That's how we now can see it inside the body. Ultrasound, right? That hearing sense that's within us. Our sense of smell, movement is the unfamiliar sense. It's magnetics. And so when you're drawn to someone, there's pheromones there, touch, and you're the only thing in your environment other than a plant, but you're keeping an internal body temperature of somewhere around 98.6, right? The sense of touch, infrared warmth is coming out of you. You're sensing that. Taste, electrical substance. We'll dive more within that within the academy. Visual light, we just dove into that, and how you can get present in the moment in each of these stages. And so here we go. I thank you so much for being here, and I am going to send you guys some beautiful Word documents that you can print out and hopefully post around town. We can really use your help. We just want your community to be ready. At Miracle Makers Academy, $10 a month. Lifetime membership is $1,000. And I'm only able to take on a few clients for year-long coaching programs. And so the 1 hour reading that comes as a bonus really winds up being a gift, because you get the hour reading, you get a guided meditation, and you also get me going through what's not working in your body or in your software. So thank you guys for being part of this. I love you so much. And we will see you until we're back on air. We'll still do these intermittently once a week until I'm able to give to everyone that's asking for sessions at Miracle Makers or Miracle Makers on UBN, or that being able to give is really important for me. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Bye for now. I'm going to unmute us all really quickly so we can say goodbye to each other. So everyone is getting unmuted. Anything you want to share or add? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sarah. You're awesome.
So much love to all of you. So much love.
Bye for now. We'll see you next time. Bye.